Welcome to the Explainer. Today we are running a rapid-fire training exercise to get you totally ready for the AWS Solutions Architect Exam. And we're zeroing in on a huge topic, cost optimization. Okay, let's just dive right in. We're going to go through a bunch of exam-style scenarios where you're the architect. Your job? Make the most cost-effective decision every single time. So here's how we're going to break it down. We'll start with optimizing compute costs. Then, we'll hit how to slash your storage and database spend. After that, we'll cover tracking and managing those costs, and we'll wrap it all up with a final tip to make sure it all sticks. All right, let's kick things off with the heart and soul of most AWS setups, compute. Okay, first question for you. Picture this. Your company has a web app. It's on 20 EC2 instances, running 24/7, and you know for a fact the usage is going to be super consistent for the next 2, maybe 3 years. What's the absolute most cost-effective model here? That's right, you're going to want to go with 3-year reserved instances with an all-upfront payment. You see, for a predictable long-haul workload like that, locking in that 3-year all-upfront RI gets you the biggest discount possible. We're talking up to 72% off. It's a no-brainer. All right, next one. Let's think about a totally different kind of job. You've got batch processing that runs for a few hours every day. Now, the key here is that these jobs can be stopped and started again without causing any problems. So what's the cheapest way to run them? Spot instances. This is literally the textbook case for using them. And why? Because these workloads don't mind being interrupted. You get to tap into AWS's spare capacity for just pennies on the dollar. The savings can be huge, up to 90%. Remember that number for your exam. Okay, let's level up. Now you've got a more modern setup, a whole mix of different EC2 instances, different sizes, even different regions. Plus, you're using Fargate and Lambda. It's all got steady usage. Which pricing model is going to give you the best blend of savings and flexibility? The answer is compute savings plans. That word, flexibility, is your big clue. Savings plans are awesome because they automatically apply those discounts across your EC2 instances, your Fargate tasks, and your Lambda functions, no matter the family or region. Okay, how about this one? Your dev team only needs their EC2 instances during work hours, Monday to Friday, 9 to 6. How do you stop wasting money on them the rest of the time? You use the AWS Instance Scheduler. The magic word here is automation. The scheduler makes sure you're only paying for those 45 hours a week when the instances are actually being used, not for all 168 hours in a week. That's a huge saving. Awesome. We've nailed compute. Now let's move on to the other place where costs can really add up, storing and managing all your data. So you've got a ton of log data. We're talking 500 terabytes. After 30 days, nobody really looks at it. But for compliance reasons, you have to keep it for 7 years. How do you handle this without breaking the bank? You set up an S3 Lifecycle Policy to automatically move that data over to S3 Glacier Deep Archive after those first 30 days. This is the perfect solution. It's automated, it moves the data to the absolute cheapest storage tier possible, and you're still meeting your compliance rules. Set it and forget it. Now, this one's interesting because it's all about dealing with the unknown. You've got a whole petabyte of data in S3, but the access patterns are all over the place. Some files get used all the time, others haven't been touched in ages. What do? The answer is S3 Intelligent Tiering. It was literally built for this exact scenario. It just sits in the background, watches how you use your data, and automatically moves objects to the most cost-effective tier for you. No manual work required. Okay, great. So you've got your compute and storage optimized. But how do you actually keep an eye on your spending? Let's talk about the tools that give you that visibility and control. A huge part of being a good architect is finding waste, right? So let's say you want to find EC2 instances that are just sitting there, underutilized, and could probably be downsized. Which AWS tool tells you exactly that? Now watch out, this is a classic exam gotcha. The answer is both of them. You can use the right sizing recommendations in AWS Cost Explorer, and you can use AWS Trusted Advisor. Just remember the fine print. For Trusted Advisor, you need to have a business or enterprise support plan to get those checks. Let's think bigger now. Your company's growing, you've got a bunch of different AWS accounts, and you want to pool all your usage to get better volume discounts, and maybe get just one single bill. What do you set up? This is exactly what AWS Organizations is for. You bring all your accounts under one umbrella. It combines all the usage so you hit cheaper pricing tiers faster, and it rolls everything up into one simple, consolidated bill. Okay, last one for this section. How do you figure out who's spending what? You need to track your AWS costs and assign them to the right departments: engineering, marketing, finance, you name it. How's it done? The answer is cost allocation tags. But listen up, because this is a critical point for the exam. It's a two-step process. You can't just add tags to your resources. You have to tag them with something like department, engineering, and then you have to go into the billing console and actually activate that tag for cost reporting. Don't forget that second step. Fantastic work. To wrap this whole thing up, let's log in a few key comparisons that you absolutely, positively have to know for the exam. So, look, when you're thinking about savings plans versus reserved instances, it really boils down to one word: flexibility. Savings plans are super flexible. They cover EC2, Fargate, Lambda, and you're just committing to a certain amount of spend. Reserved instances are more rigid. You're locked into a specific instance, but they only apply to EC2 and RDS. And even within RIs, there's a trade-off. A standard RI gets you that massive top-tier discount, up to 72%, but you are locked in tight, no changes. A convertible RI has a slightly smaller discount, but it gives you that all-important freedom to change instance families if your app's needs change down the road. All right, let's burn these into your brain. Final lightning round. If you see a steady 24/7 workload, think reserved instances or savings plans. A fault-tolerant batch job, it's spot instances all day. Storage with unknown access patterns, S3 intelligent tiering. Tracking costs by project, cost allocation tags. And if you need to get an alert before you overspend, that's AWS budgets. Got it? Okay, you've got the playbook. You know the core patterns for nailing every single cost optimization question that comes your way. So now think about your own work. What's the first thing you're going to go optimize? Go put it into practice. Good luck on the exam.